Mic's on. All
Mic
right.
one.
Mic test. We're good.
Yeah. You-
Always got the
All
big
right,
mouth.
all right. We'll go ahead and get started. Welcome everyone to another edition of What's Happening Now with C&I Solutions. I am your host, Charles Fry.
And I'm Bruce DeFomby.
Remember, please take time to like, comment, and share on this Facebook Live, as there are going to be others who may be able to find some of this information we're putting out useful to our team. Just a quick admin note, entrepreneur classes, we have 2 slots left for our Will Technology entrepreneur course. Will Technologies was so gracious enough to fund that class. So we do have 2 slots left, whereas your cost will only cost you $225. Just log on to C&I Solutions and go to the Launch It program. On another note, C&I Solutions is going to be doing fundraiser event there, Brewster. We're going to have our producer put that on the screen so she can share that with you all. During that fundraising event, what we're going to be offering is a dinner for 2 at Ruth and Chris here in the Huntsville, Alabama area. If you are in Huntsville and you become one of those winners of that raffle, you'll have that dinner for 2 at the Ruth and Chris. Also, we'll be raffling off a $100 Visa card. So for all of those who may not be in the Huntsville area, you'll have an opportunity to win that Visa card as well for the Valentine's Day specials. And again, this is just a fundraiser event that we are trying to do. So the cost of those raffle tickets is going to be $10. But I think if you're a winner of that Ruth and Chris, it's going to be well worth it. All right.
That's cool.
So getting into tonight's program, tonight we have a special guest in the night with us tonight, Mr. Lee Langston from Anvo. Lee, welcome. Welcome. How you doing?
Thank you for being here. Hey.
All right. All
Thank
right.
you for being here.
If you
That's
could,
great.
Lee, can you let our viewers know what exactly is Anvo?
Well, the acronym stands for Alabama Nonviolent Offenders Organization.
Okay.
We been in existence for over 10 years, and the main focus is helping those that have been previously incarcerated or behind the gated community
Okay.
get back and re-enter into society with everything from basic credentials, birth certificates, social security cards, driver's license, all the way to getting a job, getting transportation, as well as housing. If they need any other services with medical or dental, just the whole holistically making sure that individuals are ready to come back and be a part of society.
Okay. Okay. So, Lee, I know you and I, we've known each other for the past year, and we've worked together on a few occasions. What does it take for someone to enter into your program? How does one get into your program?
Key thing is there has to be a need, and that can be I have a felony, I'm trying to again get myself back up, I'm homeless, any of those things. We have referrals. People come in even off the street and just say, hey, I've heard that from 211 that this is a good place to get some services. Let me mention, we are one of 27 partnering agencies with the United Way of Madison County as well.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Great.
a lot of services that people are looking for, we have those connections as well.
Okay. United Way. So could you kind of explain it again? How's your
United
connection?
Way?
Right. How you connected with them again?
United Way has 27 partners. So what they do is they make sure that from a holistic standpoint, everything from health, education, finances, that they have partners that they can actually send people to. You heard of 211?
Yes.
211 is a part of
Right,
United Way.
right.
So when you call 211, you may be sent to Anvo to get some help. So that's
Okay.
kind of how we're partnering. They also give us a slight amount of money every year. So whenever there's a United Way campaign, we get an allocation of those funds that come through that United Way campaign.
So Charles, I know we have viewers that are outside of the Huntsville, Madison area.
Sure.
So how does that 211, it works nationwide or how?
So think about 211 like you would do 911
Right.
or 411.
Right.
So in this area, it's all the way probably to as far as Limestone County, maybe Morgan County, Jackson County, a little bit further, not all the way down to Birmingham. But if you call 211, you'll get someone that will be able to give you a resource in that 4 to 6 county area.
Okay.
And
Okay.
again, it's any resource that you need. If you just had a fire, 211. If you just, like you said, just became homeless, 211. If you need a ride to wherever, 211.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
that's great.
Right,
That's
a
great.
lot of services
Yeah.
available out there.
And then this is actually a brochure that I brought you guys that has all of the different connecting entities and services. As you can
Okay.
see, is highlighted by different area, clothing, disaster, legal assistance, et cetera. So
Okay.
it's a myriad of things that what I try to tell people is if you have a question, if you have a need,
Right.
and you can't find somebody in your particular business or church or home, call 211.
Okay,
Right.
right.
Just call them and they'll direct you to the right place.
So do you all do assistance with voting as well?
Yes, yes. So thank you for asking that.
Okay.
That's one of, getting someone back into society is one thing, getting them stable, whole, getting their feet underneath them. The other thing is getting them now to become an active part of the community.
Right.
And
Okay.
one of those is getting them to become re-registered or restore their voting credentials if they lost them. The
Okay.
myth is if you go to jail, you go to prison, and you have a felony, that you've lost your voting, your right to vote. That is a lie.
Oh, yeah.
That's a myth.
Okay.
Okay. Now, for some people, it is true because if you commit a act that is, and you know what, even I hate to say it this way, but if you do something to defy the law, like January the 6th,
Mhm.
Okay.
and
Okay.
you are committed to that, you can no longer vote for the rest of your life.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah. If you commit treason
Mhm.
or any of those things, so it doesn't even have to be, some people would think, well, it would be like obviously gun violence, murder,
Mhm.
those kind of things. But if you just had drugs or, those kind of simple, I won't call them simple, but they are simple
Mhm.
infractions, you still have your right to vote.
Okay.
Right.
Now, it all depends. So that's the reason why I ask people, don't just listen to anybody, come to us. And I'm glad you said that because 2022 is the year for us to what? Re-energize and get
Mhm.
people out to vote.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
hopefully every quarter this year, we're going to be doing some activities to get people rights to vote. We can restore your rights. We can look at aliquot, they call it aliquot here, and see if you have lost your rights or can we get you to fill out some paperwork to get your rights reinstated. Mhm.
Aliquot.
Yeah, it's Alabama court. It's
Okay.
basically
All right.
Alabama
yeah,
court.
yeah,
There you go.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Yeah. I
Now,
think
everybody can't see that. It's only for,
Okay.
because it's a lot of information there about people's
Right.
lives and records and et cetera.
Okay.
So Lee, I know that here at CNOT Solutions, we developed the New Beginnings program where we
Yes.
partnered with you guys
Mhm.
so that we can have an outlet for those previously incarcerated to be able to come in and talk and speak and also get educated on their rights and get educated on how they can go about getting their driver's license or
Right.
how they can go about getting restitution fees
Right,
and
right.
all of that paid for or
Right,
waived.
right.
Like this, can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Well, I'm so grateful that you all, continue with this New Beginnings really just giving people a second chance.
Okay.
So if anybody, this is a platform where if anybody has a question or a concern or an issue, we can actually walk them through that, on a
Right.
Saturday. Obviously, if you try to do a meeting with us, it's only probably limited to 30 minutes, but here we go as far as you want to go, as deep as you want to go, and as critical as you want to go. The key thing that I'm seeing with this New Beginnings peer support group is we got to get individuals who really need to benefit from it to come.
Mhm.
Most times there are interested people or they may be some people who have previously been there and got themselves together and now want to give back. But I'm really looking for those who are still struggling day to day, trying to navigate life. That's what I'd really like to get more of those individuals who are trying to figure out, can I get a job?
Right.
And I have a felon. Yes, you can. Can I get a good job? Yes, you can. Can I work for Mazda Toyota? Yes, you can.
Right, right. And I think a lot of that is, and team, you know, a lot of that's going to depend on you guys out there. You are those eyes and ears for a lot of those guys who need the help that Lee is speaking of. Like this, that might be a friend, a neighbor, brother, sister, daughter, niece. It's that family member that you know who has been in previously incarcerated, who needs that help, that they just don't know that information that Anvo has to offer them. And I think if we come together as a group, as a team, and we can say, hey, I saw this platform, I heard about this organization called Anvo, and I think you will work great for that son, daughter, cousin, whoever the case may be, so that they can get that help and they can get the information they need so they can become more productive and a better citizens here in the community in which you all live. So it doesn't just go for here in Alabama.
Yes.
That's anywhere. And I do believe the
we
peer-to-peer group that we're
support
running
people.
right now,
Yes.
we're supporting people from outside of the state of Alabama.
Yes.
So if you want to be part of that, all you have to do is send us a message in the chat, give us an email address, so that when we send out the Zoom meet for the next peer-to-peer support group meeting, you could become part of that as well and get that information that you need and figure out how you can go about working those questions that you have for Lee Langston, who's very knowledgeable on a lot of information in regards to restitution, voting rights, driver's license, you know, like this. And there's going to be some of your peers in there who's going to be just as knowledgeable as he is, who's been that road that you went down like this, and they have turned their life around. So just keep that in mind, friends, you know, and family out there. You know, if you know of someone, of that one person, reach out to them and let them know about this program and let them know that we're here for them. We're here for them.
You know, it's amazing, Charles, because, you know, this Saturday is the next peer support group where we meet on Zoom from 11 Central Time to 12:30. And we go until there's no other questions. Sometimes we have to kind of cut it off because of my Zoom. I haven't figured that out yet, but we go. I mean, there's not a dull moment. I'll give you one good example, friends. A lot of people think because you are a registered sex offender, you heard this myth. It's a myth. Well, if you're a registered sex offender, that means a life sentence of you being registered. You can't be around children anymore, etc. There's 3 levels of registered sex offenders. There's a level 1, a level 2, and a level 3. A level 1 is only for 15 years. A level 2 is for 25 years. That's a lot of time.
Right.
But once you do your time and etc., you are able to begin to register. You'll be able to apply to become a non-registered sex offender. So because you've done your time. Now, a lot of times that's when somebody who's been 18, 19, or 20, you know, you had a girlfriend and she said, how old are you? You know, you probably ask her, how old are you? And she said 18. And then you looked at her driver's license and it said 18, but it was a false one. And then the mom and dad got involved and it's like statutory rape because she was only 15.
Right.
So with those kind of situations, you do your time, whatever it is, make restitution, but after 15 years, you can apply to get that status removed. Now, the 3rd level is the one that's for life. And those are typically ones that are violent versus non-violent kind of situations where, you know, statutory rape, a lot of violence, you know, those kind of things. So that's another myth. And it's funny that Charles brought it up because I'm working with a gentleman right now in Texas to get all of his stuff resolved. Because he actually did, it was something that he was accused of. He didn't do it. He did his time. And now it's time for him to get all of that stuff taken off of his record.
Wow. That's great. That's great.
Yeah,
so that's the kind of benefit that we
right.
see with this. Because you don't just have to be here in Huntsville. We try to, or Alabama, we try to make sure that anybody that needs help,
Right.
And so if you got a cousin, brother, sister, uncle, whatever, in anywhere, I mean, I don't know about Alaska, but anywhere that is warm, at least for me.
Right, right.
You know, we will help. We will help anybody. Seriously,
Right,
we'll help
right.
anybody.
That's good. That's good. I'll tell you what, you all answered like 5 questions I had written down.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you took care of them all. When do you meet? You know, what's the frequency on the meetings? How are you meeting? And you just kind of a recap, you're doing it by Zoom currently.
Right.
Yeah, Zoom
And
is
so,
the peer
yeah.
support groups.
So folks that are out there on FB Live, and even if you're watching a rerun of this particular show, get them the information. The information is more than likely it's in chat. Get that information so you can get that to them, so they can we can get the information to them so they can kind of tune in. It may just be what they need, what they're
Right.
looking for. So that's why we talk about those shares, those likes, and
Right.
things of that nature. We're really trying to get the information, not just central to the Huntsville, Madison
Right.
area,
Right,
but
right.
anyone who is in need.
Let me make 2 other appeals, because what's
Okay.
coming up now, since we are beginning to get some traction, is people who their loved ones are about to get out of prison. We're getting a lot of calls. Hey, we heard that you all can help get people transitional housing, jobs, get their, driver's license reinstated.
Mhm.
If there's a mother or brother or uncle or aunt out there, and you've got this person that's potentially going to be coming home or eventually getting released for parole in the next 6 months, give us a call. Or if you need our help to make sure that they get the right things before they get released, give us a call. If you got a person who got out, because we got people in this community who got out, didn't think that they needed our help. 6 months, 12 months down the road, still struggling, please give us a call.
Right.
Give us a call.
Yeah, I think that recidivism word is one of the words our executive director uses a lot,
Oh,
and for those who out there who are actually maybe listening, who are actually in those particular situations, I know that the bag gets heavy. I can understand that it gets heavy, but there are organizations out there like Anvo who are out there to ease some of those burdens for you, to point you in the right direction.
if anything that I am disappointed in and feel bad about here in Alabama is two facts. When I first came here 5 years ago, I got a fact that said 49% of the Black males in Alabama, 49% of them
Wow.
has had some kind of situation, all the way from, teen, violent issues, jail, in and out of jail, in and out of prison,
Right.
except 49% of the Black males in
Wow.
Alabama. That was 5 years ago.
Geez.
The other thing that's live and well, as you said, recidivism. 80% of the folks that we see go back.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
80%. That's one of the things that I'm fighting for to change right now.
Right.
And one of the things that I think that can help is these new beginnings. If we can get one person to come to our meetings and stay, hallelujah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they can go back and tell their friend or somebody else, hey, this is a place for you to come because you can get the right type of help.
Right.
And I think the problem is that they don't get the right type of help in the first 30 days that they're out.
Right.
They come home on a bus. Mom don't want them back, girlfriend don't want them back. So they're struggling for the first 30 days, trying to figure out what ends meet. They go back to some of their old livelihoods and to make money or whatever the case may be, thinking that they slick it and Rick, and then all of a sudden, bam, they
Right.
get right back set in the places where they said that they don't want to be. So
Right,
unfortunately, if we can get them in those first 30 days to at least entrust us to help them in whatever way, I think we can turn that number around.
Right.
Right.
Hmm.
Right. So, I'm gonna tell you something, Brewster and Lee, you may not know this, but believe it or not, a previously incarcerated person is the most favorable person to be an entrepreneur.
Yes.
They are the
I
most
could-
favorable person to be an entrepreneur. So, and because they already are accustomed to risk, they're already accustomed to learn how losses mean. and they've dealt with those, and they had to pay those consequences. So now when they get out, they have that drive, they have that determination to become someone, to be someone. So I tell you what, viewers, I tell you what, in the beginning of this show, we mentioned that we had 2 seats left to sign up for the entrepreneur class. If you are a previously incarcerated person and you go through Anvo and you speak with Lee Langston like this, Charles Fry, will pay for that class for you to come in here. All right. If you have a will to start a business and you are previously incarcerated, Charles Fry will pay for that class for you to get you started in your business.
Good stuff.
And that's going to be my way of giving back and trying to help to stop recidivism. Okay.
Good stuff.
It's amazing, Charles, that you should bring that up, because that was, I teach a class on Mondays and Fridays over at the Day Reporting Center. These are the people that are on parole and probation. We had this exact conversation. With your hands, what can you do? With your brain, don't you know, you said critical thinking, logical problem solving. They've been doing that since what, day one?
Right.
So I'm like, if you would just want to go get a job, that's slave mentality. But if you want to think and do things that God gave you to go do, come talk to me. So I got a guy that's talking about he wants to start his own business, t-shirt business, lawn care business. One other guy was talking about recycling and solar power energy business in our class. This was this past Monday.
Right.
So guess what we're going to do on Friday? Whoever brings their plan to me, that's what I said. We'll start working to see who it is that we will start helping to get underneath their plan and make it happen. Hopefully it's a t-shirt, because I need a lot of t-shirts. Okay. But also it could be the lawn care service, because it's just like anything. It may not be the right timing, but we can get underneath them and make some things happen. Also, there's another thing that's coming down the pike for your viewers is if anybody is interested in any financial literacy or financial health. If anybody's out there doing payday loan lending, Rent-A-Center, paying for a lot of stuff with their what's this thing coming up, tax returns and etc. Come see me. If nobody doesn't know about, does anybody on the chat or online know about a 700, 750 credit score, and the doors that the keys will begin to open for you if you have those kind of credit scores. Then you can go and get whatever it is that you want. So come see us about that as well.
Definitely do that. I remember, I think it was probably about a month ago, we was going to peer-to-peer, and Lee, the subject was talking about credit. We were talking about credit, and there was a lot of good information put out for a lot of people, for a lot of users. And to be honest with you folks, there was a lot of good information out, even if you weren't previously incarcerated. Like this, the information that we was putting out in that class was very vital. It was helpful, and a lot of the participants was really grateful for receiving it. And with that, I want to mention one more thing about this peer-to-peer group. I want you to keep in mind, we are looking for those who have been previously incarcerated to be part of that. But if you are that parent, if you are that family member of a previously incarcerated, and you just want to join in because maybe you don't know how to deal with them, maybe you don't understand the things that they're doing, now's that time. Join in on those sessions that we have, so you can ask that questions, so you can talk to a fellow peer who might say, well, ma'am, the reason why they're acting that way because their mind is telling them they have to do that because they've been there for so long. I know what they're talking about. I've been there, and I went through the same thing. So it's not just for that previously incarcerated. We're trying to help the family members as well, for allow you all to be able to deal with it and cope with it.
Okay.
Well, any questions in the chat?
And if anyone got any questions, please put it in the chat, and our producer will go ahead and let us know what someone's asking, because we want to get everything answered that you might have. There's a lot of good information that Lee Langston has with Anvo. He's even put together, I guess we want to call this
our resource guide.
what's it called?
A resource guide.
The resource
Yeah,
guide book
yeah.
he's put together.
Yeah.
We'll have a copy of that here at
Yeah.
Untitled Solutions. You know, if you can't get a hold of Lee Langston, more than welcome to give us a call, Untitled Solutions. I have his hotline number. I will make sure that you do get it. And with that, there's also, I want to thank a lot of our partners who work with us, especially in trying to get some of the previously incarcerated employed. I know Marvina Adams with Martin Eyes and Cleaner, she does an excellent
Yes,
job
yes.
in trying to get
Yes.
those who's been previously incarcerated employment.
Yes.
And like Lee said, I know Toyotas, they work with them well. Amco down the street worked with CNI Solution and getting some of the previously incarcerated guys employed. So don't think that you can't get a job, and don't think that you're just going to have to stand by the wayside, because there are companies that do hire previously incarcerated. You know, so just always keep that in mind and reach out. Just reach out and ask somebody, reach out and talk to somebody. Anvo is a wealth of knowledge that's going to be able to help those who are previously incarcerated.
Yes.
So question, those who have been previously incarcerated, what do you find are some of the bigger stigmatisms?
Well, obviously one was the voting. Other one is they can't get a good job. A good job to them is $10 or $12 an hour.
Right.
But I mean, a good job for me is Mazda, Toyota, Wiregrass, construction,
Right.
$17, $19, $21 an hour and above.
Right.
The other one is, well, will my family receive me? That's like a big one right now. You know, it depends on how long they've been. So if they've been gone for over 5 years, because some have been gone 15, 20 years. Some of them, they're like, I didn't even, cell phones. I mean, cell phone was a big phone when I left. And it's like,
Bookcase.
what is Facebook and all that? So it's like they have this, they're just like a deer in headlights when they come out. So that whole navigating that, making sure that whatever bridges that they have burned, hopefully we will be able to be there and help them reestablish those.
Right.
So, you know, and the fear factor that they won't be able to make it.
Right.
Those are like the top ones that I see
So
day in and day out.
So like resumes and things of that.
Yeah,
nature.
we help them, and a lot of these companies, they're like, well, let me get something on paper and then let me talk to them.
Okay.
It was interesting when I had a conversation with, I won't say the company, but it was a construction company, and sent the guy's resume over there. He was a certified welder, and they said, what happened between 2017 and 2020? I'm like, duh, he was incarcerated. So yeah, so we have to explain those kind of things to those personnel folks. But you know, the good thing is people are beginning to take the chance on folks.
Okay.
Wiregrass, I want to give a shout out to Wiregrass Construction, because they have hired 2 of our folks.
Oh, wow.
Great.
Y'all know
Yeah.
Wiregrass Construction, that's like one of the major construction companies in Alabama.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, and then Mazda, Toyota, and others are like, Lee, is there anybody? I had 2 other companies email me and said, do you have anybody to have these kind of credentials?
Wow.
I'm looking for folks.
Wow.
They can't keep enough folks employed. Yes. So the jobs are not scarce.
Right.
The people
Right.
are.
People.
Yeah, the people who want to work
Okay. All
are
right.
scarce. Yes. So if you want to work, call 211, call Charles, or call me. That's all.
And just so you know, and we'll put those phone numbers in the chat. Of course, I know CNI Solutions is in there, 256-459-6020, and Lee's
256-288-3175.
all right. Outstanding. Well, Bruce, what you know?
Wow. It's been a wealth of information. You know, for you viewers out there, you probably look at me, I'm like in awe. You know, I got the single chin thing. I'm like, huh? Right. Because, you know, in my family as well, there have been those who have been previously incarcerated.
Okay. Yeah.
And really trying to indoctrinate themselves back into society and be, you know, that age-old adage become that language that says become a productive citizen again.
Yeah.
You know, I know those things can be very hurtful in a sense. But, once you pay that debt, it seems like you have to come out and pay another debt. Because there are those who don't look at you as less than a citizen and sometimes, in some cases. So I'm glad to hear that there are organizations out there that are in need. They're putting their faith in effort in what they see and not everything that they've heard.
Do we have another minute?
Yes,
sure.
yes, sure.
Because one of the other things that we do is, I'm glad that you reminded me of that. We not only help those individuals who are coming out of those situations, we help the whole family. So twice a year, we do a winter essentials for anybody that need hat, coats, gloves, etc. for winter. And then in the summer, we do the same thing. It's just, t-shirts, tennis shoes, and etc.
Okay.
And then if anybody needs any clothing or toiletries or any of those kind of things, we have those kind of things accessible to as well.
Okay.
Great.
So,
Good stuff.
Great.
Yeah.
I have one question before do you often get those who are required to do community service?
Yes. That is one of the things that everyone must do. I mean, you talked about giving back. Hopefully, if we're able to connect with someone, they see the benefit of us, start their community service, you know what happens? Their head starts to raise, their pride starts to come back because they're giving back. It's not just, nobody really wants a handout. Right. What I'm finding out is people who are poor, people who are on the streets, most of them don't want a handout. A lot of them would want to work for their food or whatever. And these folks are saying, just don't give me something. Can I work for it?
Right.
Can I come over and just, clean the tables, pick up the trash or whatever? And so that's what we call community service hours. Good. A lot of them have to do about 40 community service hours to move to the next phase. But, yes, to answer your question, yes. We love to exercise that and make sure that people see that they can do whatever. And if they're gifted in something, a lot of them like to cook or, clean or in the summertime, a lot of them do landscaping and stuff. Let's put them to work. I still give them a little something, but it's just something that's good to do.
And those, one of the things I know that Charles, we went over to, was it the Boys and Girls Club? Was that, and those things go towards their resume as well.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So that it's all things that they can be placed on the resume. Some may be that community service, but it's work that's performed.
Right.
So, keep that in mind as well.
Good.
So.
Great. Well, Lee, I truly appreciate you coming by and giving the viewers all this wealth of information.
Oh, we done? I mean, that went really fast.
The time does go fast. Wow. Time does go fast. But do you have any closing remarks, sir?
No, just again, thank you all for this platform. Thank you for even having an interest in what we do and the people that we serve. And really what we're trying to do is make a difference in the least of these. So when we're all gone, we can say, we did our very best for even those that needed our help the most.
Yes, exactly. There you go.
Exactly.
So appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah.
Brewster, anything?
Appreciate you, producer.
I want everybody to remember out there, you are me and I'm you. Hey, we're no different when it really comes down to where the rubber meets the road.
Yeah.
So wherever you're going, I may be going there also. So, lend a hand, reach back.
Reach back. Yeah. All right, great. Just keep in mind, the producer did put the information in chat for those who want to support C&I Solutions or want to be a sponsor. That information is also there in the chat. And then to those who want to volunteer and help with C&I Solutions as we move into the spring months and we start doing a lot of more community-based organization work out there in the community, we're going to need that help and support from you all as well. So please keep in mind that. Last note, again, we'll have those raffle tickets going out for the dinner for two, for if you live here in the Huntsville, Alabama area. The raffle tickets will go on sale starting right now. And actually, if you're going to pay by Cash App, just make sure that you give us a full name. Make sure you put in there your phone number. Make sure you put in your phone number if you're paying by Cash App so that we know how we can go ahead and assign your name to a ticket. We normally would like to do our live drawings on a Wednesday, but because we're trying to get this out before Valentine's Day, the 13th is going to be the last day. It will be the deadline. The 13th will be the deadline. So we'll probably end up doing a special live just to do a drawing for those. So that way, make sure you're watching if you're going to go ahead and enter that. If you're a winner of the Visa gift card and you don't live here in the Huntsville area, we will be calling you so that we can go ahead and get that address from you so that we can we can mail the gift card to you. If you happen to be in this area, well, you can always come by CNI Solutions and pick that up. All right. So
let it be known, first 2 tickets. Right here.
Mr. Langston's all over. He got the first 2 tickets in already. All right. First 2 tickets already. And it's for a good cause, ladies and gentlemen. It's just a fundraiser. This helps us to continue to do what we're doing out there in the community. Like this, as I said once, and I said it before, we can't do what we do without your help.
Yes.
Like this, it takes your help for us to be able to do what we're doing. All right. So just remember, your yesterday is not your today, and your today is not your tomorrow. Y'all have a good night.